Hey Amy, check it out. I did the cat eyes like you. Oh girl, that's a good start, but you gotta go way bigger. Bigger? Yeah, then Batman won't have a chance.
I bought you a Funko when you were 15. You wore it to the disco.
When I hear that a celebrity passes away, 99% of the time, it doesn't affect me either way. But when I heard that Amy Winehouse had died, I was genuinely sad. Like, it really affected me. Like, I almost wanted to cry because I absolutely loved her. I loved her voice and her music. And even to the day when I think about it, it still really makes me sad. Just looking at this pop, it makes me sad. But I still listen to her music all the time. Valerie and her version of Hey Little Rich Girl being some of my favorite songs of all time. I really like that they chose the Back to Black style of lettering for her name. I wish they would have put maybe either a picture of her in the back or a quote, because she did have a lot of cool quotes. Back seems a little plain, but I guess they can't do too much. But I think a quote by her would have been nice here on the side. And yeah, like in the box, this pop looks really amazing. I think they did a really great job with it. I'm going to start out with the positives. And the best thing about this pop is the sculpt. Whoever sculpted this must be an Amy Winehouse fan because they got her hair absolutely perfect. It looks just like her hair. It looks like what it would look like in pop form. It's great. The body sculpt is perfect. Like, they even made her feet a little pigeon-toed. And they also kind of made her sexy and sassy. And it perfectly conveys what I think a lot of people liked about Amy Winehouse is that you saw the rock star, you saw the sexiness of her and the flamboyance of her, but there was a little hint of insecurity underneath. And I think making her feet a little pigeon-toed like that perfectly conveys that. I really, really like that. The only thing I don't like about the sculpt, though, is that the earrings, I think this needed to be cut out right here. Like, they made it flesh color. Like, it almost looks like it's her earlobe or something because you can see her jaw stops here, yet there is flesh colored in the inside of her earring. I think what they should have done, maybe, if they didn't want to take an extra step to either cut that out or glue the earring on, would be to make the hair drop over the earring here to cover up that flesh color right there, because that really should have been either covered up by the hair or cut out. I think that looks really bad. They do a disservice to this pop because I was really looking forward to that one, but that to me is a big kind of flaw there. And they do it on this side too. Like, they should have just had this hair drop down and cover that fleshy color there and just see the earring. That would have looked perfect. You wouldn't even have noticed anything. But yeah, I think the paint job really lets it down. You can tell that the head was molded in all black, and they needed to go over this maybe with another coat. Because, yeah, they painted pink over it, but you can kind of see the black poking through. It just looks unfinished. It looks like it needed another coat, basically. This part of the bow looks nice, but definitely this band right here is very sloppy and definitely needed another coat of black. And you can tell right here, too, that the head is black because you can see a little bit of the black coming through here too. Just a little sloppy. And this was the best one there, but it looks a little sloppy right here too. It looks a little worse in person. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I wish they would have taken their time just a little bit more. But it still looks cool. I mean, it's still such a cool sculpt that those little flaws don't bother me as much as they should probably. And I think one of the best parts is the way they did her cat eyes. I mean, and they really made them nice and big. Like, they actually do cat eyes on the Batgirl too, but they're not as big as this. And I'm really glad they went that big with it because it totally looks like Amy Winehouse. I mean, they really got it right. Like, the earrings they picked, the bow is perfect. They even got her little tattoos in there. The horseshoe that says daddy and the topless girl. But again, if you see right here on her armpit, it looks like they needed to go in there with another coat of flesh color and another coat of gray because you can see some of the color underneath coming through. Like, they just needed another coat of flesh color there. Sloppiness like that is just, I don't know. I guess this reminds you that these are $10 toys, even though this one cost $13. Like they upped the price again, I think, at GameStop. But you can see here on her hand too that a little bit of black is poking through because it just needed another coat of flesh color there. The legs they got right, but yeah, just needed a couple of more coats to finish it off because the sloppiness does kind of bother me on this one. Maybe because I'm a big Amy Winehouse fan and I wanted it to be perfect. But they got her tattoos on this side too. Really, really like that they stayed true with the tattoos. When I first saw the glam shots of this, I didn't think they were going to put, especially the topless girl, the daddy. I thought maybe they might do the horseshoe. I thought they were going to just not do the tattoos altogether. But they did, and it does look really good. This is another one I was really anticipating this year because the glam shots of her look fabulous. Here's the box art. They actually improve the box art on this DC Heroes line because if you have any of these, go look at your boxes. They're super plain. Like the Power Girl one is basically just gray with like some lighter colored dots. It's about as plain as box art gets, but they did add a few bats here and a little bit of gradation to make this box a little bit more visually interesting. Alright, so at first it's kind of weird that I decided to group Amy Winehouse and Batgirl together, except for maybe the fact that they came out at a similar time. But the reason I decided to group these together is that I think they did the same technique on this Batgirl where the head is molded in black. Because if you see on this hairline, you can see a little bit of touch-up paint there, where obviously that orange must have been really, really bad and a lot of black was poking through and they tried to go over it. But yeah, pretty sloppy there. It just looks like the whole thing needed a new coat. Looks kind of bad here. If you look really close around her eyes, I guess it's a little harder to tell on camera, but with the naked eye, you do see a little bit of fuzziness there that I didn't notice exactly at the store. And her eye isn't exactly over the raised part where it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a little bit further to the left and down there. Same with this one, a little bit down. It's not super, super bad, but it is noticeable. But yeah, this technique of maybe painting over the black with light colors probably isn't the best. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that much about toy making, but I do know a little bit about painting. And I don't know, maybe they should mold this in the flesh color and attempt to paint it black instead of the other way around. Because it doesn't look like it doesn't look like painting over black really lends itself to very clean paint jobs. And yeah, it just could have been a lot better. And it looks like it has the same thing going on down here. Looks like they painted yellow over a darker color, and you see a lot of it poking through. This was the best one too. They had about 3 of them, and the other 3 were just atrocious. Like all the yellow was really, really bad on there. I mean, you can see too in the cape where they painted yellow over black, and there's a lot of fuzziness. I think it would have looked better if they would have added another coat, because you really do see a lot of black poking through just in a lot of random spots. And it doesn't look so bad when you're looking at it from far away, but if you do pick it up and inspect it, it is pretty noticeable. Like the camera is a little bit forgiving with it, but in person, it does look very sloppy. And this was the best one. Like the other ones were just almost unbuyable. Like the eyes were way off of where they were supposed to be. Just a lot of sloppiness everywhere. Like really bad overspray of the flesh color over the mask. Pretty bad. Which is disappointing because I do like this sculpt a lot too. Both of them, the Amy Winehouse and this Batgirl, do have really awesome sculpts. They're super cute. I just think that the paint jobs totally let them down. I know I nitpicked the paint jobs on these 2 pops really hard this time, but it's only because I really love these sculpts, and I think these poor paint jobs really do a disservice to the artists that designed these because they did a really good job. Now, Look at Amy's hair compared to Batgirl. Look, like she's like a full 1.5 inches taller than Batgirl because of that hair. They did a great job with that. I really like it. She looks great outside of the box. And if you're somebody that collects old vinyl records and you have them kind of like stacked flat, putting this Amy Winehouse on top of that would be perfect, because I think anybody that collects vinyl records probably has an Amy Winehouse or 2 album in there. So yeah, really, definitely an outside of the box pop. That's why I wish the paint job was even better. But yeah, these are out now. I got these at GameStop. They had a couple there, but yeah, be warned that the paint jobs were awful. The boxes weren't great either. So definitely check these out in stores before you think about ordering them online. And maybe only order them online if you really just can't find them anywhere in a store.
You were just a rich girl having fun. Your worn-out dresses, you stares from everyone.